We are asked if x is a positive integer, then x minus 1 times x plus 1 is which of the following? It's important to recognize that x minus 1, x, and x plus 1 are consecutive. For example, if x is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 2 minus 1 is 1. So whatever we put in for x, you'll see that these three are consecutive numbers, three consecutive numbers. So this is a divisibility question because we're dealing with multiples and odd and even that is within the context of consecutive numbers. Whenever you have a question dealing with consecutives and divisibility, there's a very helpful rule to remember. The rule is the following. It goes like this. Now sounds a little complicated, but it's going to become much clearer with an example or two. So the rule is the product of n consecutive numbers is divisible by n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 dot 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 all the way to 1. So for example, if I have three consecutive numbers, like let's say 15 times 16 times 17, so I'm multiplying three consecutive numbers together. If they're three consecutive numbers, then those three numbers are divisible by 3 times 2 times 1. So 3 goes into 15, that's 5, 2 goes into 16, that's 8. Or if I have four consecutive numbers, like let's say 42 times 43 times 44 times 45. These four consecutive numbers are divisible by 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So, for example, 4 goes into 44 11 times, 3 goes into 45 15 times, 2 goes into 42 21 times, and so on. Whenever you have, let's say, five consecutive numbers, those five consecutive numbers, whatever five consecutive numbers they are, will be divisible by 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So here we have three consecutive numbers. We have x minus 1 times x plus 1. These three consecutive numbers are divisible by 3 times 2 times 1. So what we see here is that no matter what x is, because we have three consecutive numbers, the product of those three consecutive numbers is divisible by 3 times 2 times 1. So if we look at the answer choices, answer choice A says that this thing is a multiple of 3 or divisible by 3 only when x is a multiple of 3. That's not true. It's always divisible by 3. Same thing for answer choice B. We're told that this product, is a multiple of 6 only when x is even. Again, that's not true. This product, x minus 1 times x plus 1, is always divisible by 6 because 3 times 2 is 6. Or just more generally, if something is divisible by 3 and by 2, it's divisible by 6. Now, we don't know about C and D because we don't have anything about multiples of 4, multiples of 12. But if we look at E, we're told that this product is odd if x is odd. And that's not true. If something is divisible by 2, that means it's even. So these three numbers multiplied together will always be even since they're divisible by 2. We now have two more options. We're told that we need to figure out whether this product is this x minus 1 times x plus 1 is a multiple of 4 whenever x is even, or if it's a multiple of 12 if x is greater than 2. Well, we can actually just check these numbers that we plugged in the beginning. So if x is 2, right, in which case it's even, then we have 1 times 2 times 3, which is 6. But 6 is not a multiple of 4. We've shown that whenever x is even, it's not always the case that the product is a multiple of 4. So by the process of elimination, we're left with D.